If you paid attention to the Dhaka roads for the last 5 years, especially around DOHS area, chances are you've seen this, the Mitsubishi Xpander. This seven-seater has been on the market for 5 years, and underneath this polarizing design, this Mitsubishi seven-seater is actually surprisingly practical and solidly made, hence its popularity. Now, you might ask, why are we looking at a car that's been around the market for half a decade? Well, now officially this car is made in Bangladesh, or rather enough of it is built here to get that title. So, since we never actually reviewed the car video-wise, I thought it's high time we take a look at it. Starting at the front, you still get the dynamic design, which is polarizing and definitely a conversation starter, flanked by two LED DRLs or daytime running lights. Underneath, you'll find a headlight cluster, which is shaped like a T for some reason, and at the bottom, there are halogen fog lamps. The grille has a similar pattern to the one we've seen in Outlander Sport. Actually, not really. It's basically an interesting honeycomb pattern, and overall, it complements the design rather well. Opening the hood, you are greeted with the same 1.5-liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder the Mitsubishi's been using in this car for over half a decade now. Power, enough. It's a seven-seater. If that's what you're caring about, get something else. As for mileage, you get 6 to 7 kilometers in the city, double that on highway. As we move to the side, we get this 17-inch alloy wheels, lifting the car around 220 millimeters off the ground, which means you'll have an easier time on Dhaka roads. However, the car is still front-wheel drive, so don't try anything too adventurous. Moving further in the back, we got the same floating roofline design and the back, which has a manual hatch and a rear wiper. Now, in Bangladesh, the cars are put together by RAIL, which is short for Rankin Auto Industries Limited. One of the things they're particularly proud of is the paint job, which actually looks quite nice. I can see the aluminum flakes here. I'm not seeing any orange peel. If you tell me that this is just another imported unit, I would have believed you just by looking at the paint job. Now, opening the rear hatch, the first thing that draw attention to me is this rear light housing. Now, RAIL is rather proud of their workforce. They claim they can put together the car as well as any other Mitsubishi factories in the world. And looking at this light assembly, I have to agree, I'm not seeing any gaps here or any weird jutting out parts. However, another thing you notice in this slide is this, made in Indonesia. Now, if you look at it and your first question could be, why is a car that's being touted as made in Bangladesh has a made in Indonesia part in it? Well, the fact is simple. No factory in the world makes 100% of a car. That just doesn't make sense in supply chain. So in Bangladesh, RAIL makes enough of this car to count as a made in Bangladesh car. But a lot of the parts that just doesn't make sense to build in the country, they come from abroad. That means this light, a few of the engine components, and a few other things get scattered around. As you pull up the rear hatch, the first thing you notice is that even with the rear seats up, you get a pretty usable trunk space. However, underneath, there is no spare tire. There's actually a tray for you to store stuff. The tire is actually under the car, and there are a couple of bolt points you have to undo to drop it down. Now, if you do need extra space, dropping the third row is actually pretty easy. You just pull this lever, this ripcord, and just push them ahead. And there's enough for one person to fit in, or a week's of grocery, if that's what you're going with. And now let's move to the rear seats. Now, as we move into the second row, the first thing you notice that there is no sunroof. That's because that space has been taken over by this, a dedicated AC unit with 4 dedicated vents and a fan control knob. At the bottom, you get 2 USB ports, one micro, one regular. Even more storage space here and here. And if you don't care for a guy in the middle, you can pull this down and have 2 cup holders. Now it's time to try the third row, which if you've seen any of my older video, knows it's something I don't look forward to. To get in the third row, you pull this lever, drop this, pull this up, and you just scoot in, and then it's a simple case of just dropping it back. Now, I'm 5'11", and with the seat moved slightly to the front, I can sit here pretty comfortably. But with my legs crossed, this is not where I want to be for more than a couple of hours. 3 at max. And beside that, I have a few things for me to use while I'm here. Combination cup holder and iPad tray, a 12-volt socket to charge my stuff, clip mainly for the seat belt, but you can stick something here if you want, and a cabin light. All in all, it's fine for short trips. Long trips, you might suffer. But if you do suffer, you'll have a 4 speaker and 2 tweeter sound system to keep you distracted. Now, getting into the Xpander, the first thing you notice is that it's been spruced up. You get a bit of fake wood accent here, padded dashboard, and being a practical family mover, storage space everywhere. You get here the glove compartment, the center console, and most importantly, a little hidden one right under the passenger seat. Beside that, you get a boatload of cup holders, one, two, three, four, five just at the front, and another cubby hole here. In terms of tech, you get a 7-inch screen with Android Auto, digital climate control, one USB charger, and one 12-volt electronic parking brake, and a small TFT screen in the middle of the gauge cluster. Material wise, you get a wrapped steering wheel with either leather or leather like material. This diamond pattern on the cloth seat, and I'm not sure why they added it, but there's a bit of fake carbon fiber on the door sills, which combined with the brown leather like padding actually looks quite nice. Now, this is the first time I'm driving this car. In fact, I've driven it several times for several different publications, so I'm pretty familiar with it. To drive, you put it on D, which it already is, let go of the parking brake and let go of the brake on your leg, and it starts moving. So what it's like to drive this car? Utterly unremarkable, which is exactly what you want when you're moving around 7 people. Beside that, the visibility is excellent thanks to this extended A-pillar. The ride quality is actually quite comfortable, and Mitsubishi finally fixed one of my biggest gripe with this car. They added a armrest, so I can actually rest my arm while I'm cruising on the road. Acceleration is just that. You push it down, the car just goes. And it goes pretty well. Being a slightly top heavy car, remember 220mm ground clearance, it does wobble a bit when you throw it around a corner. Case in point. Other than that, there is no surprises. It's a family cruiser. It's designed to carry your grandfather, your grandmother, and your entire extended family to a picnic spot or wedding event. Now, pricing is a bit difficult to say. This car from Mitsubishi Bangladesh comes in 4 flavors, which is the Classic, which is this one. Then a step above comes the Eco, which has a dual fuel system and comes with a built-in LPG. Then there's the Premium, which comes with leatherite upholstery and a few extra nice bits. And finally, the Sport, which comes with its body kit. As for the base price, I can't disclose this yet because the car haven't officially launched when we are shooting this video. However, from what I understand, it's gonna be cheaper than the DFS Glory, the base model, the classic one that is, which is around mid-30s. So if you're interested in that budget, you might want to give Mitsubishi Bangladesh a call. That's all for today. Thank you.